Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Yesterday doesn't matter, it only serves as a ladder. Tomorrow isn't guaranteed, so make your plans accordingly. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment one by one and do the best you can. Grand Rising. Today is a new day to start again. It is 4/19/2025. Boy, the numbers just keep getting bigger and bigger. It's weird how it works like that. It is actually late Friday night. I came home from work early today. I had a decent day at work. I'm a furniture salesman, for people that don't know. I have concern that I'm not going to have the fine. I got deep here and there. So what I do is I scribe, basically. Usually I do it after I sleep. And I did actually. I slept, but I woke up at 11:30 at night. So then I started writing. I really didn't want to do my whole video thing. It hasn't been getting much traction recently, but I want to keep pushing through it because I just think it's important to keep showing my journey. But when I started doing it, I was kind of sad because I have some things in the future here, which is part of the reason why I do these videos is it's really important to stay in your present moment. And when I woke up this morning, I started thinking about, or this evening, I started thinking about these things I have in the future that I really need to do, and I am not in a great financial position because I just haven't been making very many sales. And I've actually been trying really hard. So it's been kind of rough for me, but I have faith. So, and I'm not even worried. I'm not looking for that, like to put that energy out. I'm not trying to manifest. I don't. Once I get back into new day to start mode, which is where I try to stay as much as I can, especially for these videos, because I can really do it inside of this box of this cell, but I can really embody what I'm trying to do. When you get out into the world and you're having to deal with everybody else around you, I am not perfect, and neither is anyone else. You just do your best in each situation. And I get into that in this. So as I started to do it, I got more confident. But I want to go back because I actually wrote it. I do have, to be personal, I have like one of my daughters is graduating from high school and another one is turning 17. And, you know, I have a big thing about money and status and I have issues with all of that kind of thing. But I still live in this world and I'm not in a great position to be able to like be a dad. So dang it. All right, so I'm moving on from that. It is what it is. And I am a dad. So, I mean, it's just because I'm not where I'm supposed to be and just because we're in a moment, and I talk about the moments a little bit later, you have to treat each thing as a moment. That's what I think. And sometimes it's just one really long moment, which is your life. That's just an ongoing moment. But there's also much smaller moments and bigger moments. Everything is really a moment. I don't feel great about where I am financially, but I think that's going to change because it is. I want to get my golf going. I have a little bit of that in me. I do want to bring the cap down and start getting back into business, but I just like everything in my life, I'm allowing it to happen. I'm not pushing it. I know it's something that I want to do. I got plenty of time, and I think sometimes my procrastination, which is seen as a negative, is actually just patience. I'm letting my body get ready for it. This is me rationalizing, me not using my time wisely. Anyways, I have like 2 people that watch these videos, but I think it's fun for me. I get into it, like as I keep going on. So I'm going to keep doing it. So anyways, I want to start working on setting up my routines, but it's hard to set up your routines when you don't really know. And then I was setting this up to really get myself going. That's what I do is I write this stuff. You'll note, I notice that I start to uplift. I'm like, let's go. All right, that's enough of that. I'm an Aries. That's just kind of part of my role in life, I think, is to always be moving forward if I can. And just do your best. I'm not trying to overplay what I do in my life either, though. I mean, it's pretty pathetic, honestly. But whatever. It is me. What is success? Yeah. I'm not going to even get into that. It's just so stupid. You can't answer questions like that. I know I need more financial strength. I have put myself in a more stable but less lucrative environment. I've got some things moving forward, though, that are potential. Some people don't like potential. I've always been a big fan. One of my issues with myself, I look around me at the people. I'm trying to not get personal here, so I don't want to even say this part. I just want to say that I enjoy watching people succeed and then like watching them do good things with their success. I'm not a huge fan of watching people succeed and watching behavior that doesn't align with what feels like should be gratitude of the success. And that to me sometimes is off-putting. Get off-putting. You lose your belly. That's a funny joke. Yeah, that went well. Where am I on? I'm page 2. If I can get through today, I got 3 days off. So that's where I landed after all this. I like the whole observation is very important in this realm that we live in today. What is an observation? If I can get through the next 3 days, if I can get through the next day, though, of work, I got 3 days off. So I'm really looking forward to that, actually, because one thing I have been doing is with my time off, I have been really enjoying figuring out ways for me to grow. And I like that. I have been looking forward to that. It's important to have things to look forward to. Try not to wait for the next thing to start, the next moment to start. How I keep talking about moments. Don't wait for the next moment. You're in a moment now. But, plan around it. Treat it as a moment. Finish well. Start well and finish well. Start your moments well, finish your moments well, which is pretty much all the time. There's some resting, but not much for the people that are trying to do things. If you want to just let the world revolve around you, if you want to say it revolves, you can just put yourself down in a meditation or be Buddha under a tree. I'm kind of forcing this video through is what I was trying to say, but then I got all excited about doing it. Now look at me, I'm bubbling. I am struggling though, like in the real world, when I get out of there, I feel like I'm just getting beat up all the time. And I know it's probably a lot it just does feel like it's a struggle almost all the time. Just every day you're just fighting to yep, I don't care, I'm happy. I'm happy. I am happy. I just don't like, and I don't want to talk about, this isn't about the people around me, if they're watching this at all. This isn't about that. It's about the world in general. I just don't like dishonesty. And where I really was trying to throw this, I'm a very skeptical person, and I do hold things close to the chest because, and you would think a person in that situation would be really excited about saying, I told you so. And what you figure out, though, is that if you become very skeptical, you do start to understand human nature and what's been done by this manipulation, and you see how bad human nature has become. And I don't think it's actually the people. It is just the branches of what has become. And I really do not blame anyone. And I'm not saying blame is the right term. It's just symptoms and what you see. But what I'm saying is, you would think you'd want to say, I told you so, but you don't want to be the parent that says, I told you so to your kid that got his hand burned. I told you so. Not that I'm your parent, but maybe I am. I want to see the great in people, not the fake, not lies, deceit, deception. Ugh, no thanks. But that's necessary to show the opposite, I guess. You can't have it without the other. You wouldn't even know it was there. A spider, like on this shirt, man. They're beautiful creatures, but they'll bite your ass. And one bit me. Ain't been the same since. Spider-Man. That's true, though. It's been a different thing. I don't know. There's moments. There's a moment after the spider bite. I like seeing people do well and be appreciative. That's what I really like, and seeing them spread that. And I do not like accepting. I have a very hard time with that. People giving me things. But I take it if it's there and I feel like there's no wrong with me indulging. This is a realm for all of us. I've earned every bit as much as anyone, I think. If we all got the chance next week and it was like a worldwide, we get to do this today because of how hard we've had to work, I think I should get to participate. I've done enough to do that. I don't know where I went with that. That's off the rails. I do not like seeing people do well and then they complain. I really don't like that. There's nothing. That was one of the things I did not like about Tiger Woods. I'm going to call him out. I'm calling out Tiger. I didn't like how he was so like hard on himself about not following through after he had a 12-shot lead, and how I understand the concept of it. The Kobe Bryant, it's not over, is it? Is it over? That kind of attitude, but it's still kind of just like showboating too. I don't know. It's sometimes for me it's bad form. It's revealing like a negative connotation, in my opinion, but I'm not allowed to say that, I guess. I really think our society would be better if people just started calling people out instead of protecting feelings and safeguarding. Like when you call a spade, just start. I think it would be hilarious. Let's do that for just a day. And you can't do it worldwide. Let's just start it in a little area, maybe just in your family unit. Today, our objective is nobody is allowed to gray anything. You got to black and white. You got to call it like you see it in every situation. If it gets into fists, it gets into fists. But no weapons. Let's take weapons off the table. We got to have at least one rule. There's actually like 10, and the reason why they put them in stone and carved in stone was because before that, they realized that you could burn everything and you wouldn't leave anything. So they had to say, like, what could we do that they can't burn? Oh, we could chisel it into tablets. How are we going to get that down the hill? We don't even have anything to carry it. And then they break one on the way down. It's just one guy, that Moses. Was it an analogy? I don't know. I really think our society would be better. I want to reread this. I really think our society would be better if we talked less and said more. Human resources, in my experience, is not for the employee, especially in large corporations. What I found in my human resource experience in large corporate situations was I had no voice. I felt like I really did not have a voice after a long tenureship and after a really, really difficult, critical time in everyone's lives. And I actually thought that I was a pretty good contributing factor into a very stressful situation. But whatever. I just felt like, and I'm not calling that out. I did feel like human resources, though, in that situation was awful and was not for the employee. I think that whenever you departmentalize things, you have less human spirit involved. So I actually think that a more genuine, natural, solution-based approach, usually found in a more organic setting, like a family business, is usually the best approach. How about that? I tied that all together if anybody was paying attention. I do think that there is a lot of strength that can be found in less rules and more culture, I guess, would be a way to say it. But we are controlled. We control our culture. And you centralize that to you, and you expand out from there and find like-minded, but it's usually geographical. Wherever you're at is what you're going to have to adapt to. But I'm saying we need to strengthen, starting here, around us, to our families, of what you want to call your family. Says a deadbeat dad. Do as I say, not as I do, because I'm definitely not doing what I say. I mean, I'm trying. I'm doing my best. That's all I can really say. I'm going with the flow to the best of my abilities. But, there's a lot of negative to what I'm doing. Not everything's positive. There's positive that comes from a negative, though. I say if we really wanted to change the world, like to really make an impact, it starts with you. It starts with you, your family, your neighbors. And then I got into this, your town. I don't know what you want to call it. You could call it anything. Your tribe. Maybe tribe is better than town. What is your tribe? Everybody has really put a negative connotation on this tribalism, but I really do think tribalism is what we really should aspire to get back into. It's not a negative thing if the tribes all work together in the same common goal. It's one big tribe. It's kind of like the moment thing. You get your moment of your life and then all these moments in between. Same thing, you have a tribe that grows from you. I don't like saying I told you so. I could care less who said it. I'm not here to talk about clowns either. I'm sick of the circus. Is anybody else sick of the circus? Like the whole Blue Origin thing, I got into it for just like a little taste of the controversy. And then I'm just like, I don't want any of that. Why do I think me watching it is as bad as its participation. No, that's not what I'm putting my energy into. That has nothing to do with me or my message. It distracts from it and takes away from it. I just need to start. I think some days I just want to call judgment. I think everybody, it'd be cool just to figure out ways to make themed days, but you really have to do it much smaller. It has to be in smaller little. I think that's really what they're doing with us, with all of these different types of governments. They're just experiments in human nature. Manipulation of human nature is what it is. Who am I to judge? I can judge in front of me, though, I believe. I have that power. Why is your nose broken? I got punched in the face. What'd you do? Nothing. Well, do I need to continue? Or ask for the slow ones? What should you have done if you did nothing? What would you do different moving forward? Duck, 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 goose. I love Duck, Duck, Goose. It was one of my favorite games as a kid. It's probably some ritual, though. It's probably a ritual. It is a ritual. It actually is a ritual. It's not even a probably. Probably is a weird word. And it's weird. When you start saying probably, watch yourself. You start saying it a bunch more. And then it'll take a minute, and then finally you'll be like, man, I have been saying probably a bunch. And then you'll go, that Clark, that New Day to Start, boy, he was a clever guy. He left little seeds that made me go, I don't know if I like him or don't like him, but he's different for sure. Okay, listen. Now that everyone is gone and no one is listening, I'm going to tell you what I really, really think. Land being bought, like our land, this ground that we have, being bought. Like I bought that land. It's got a lake on it. I bought that spot there and secured it by money or paper or gold, whatever, digital, whatever you want to call your claim to that land. It's the biggest con of all time. Who says? That's what the natives, if you want to call them the natives, that's my biggest takeaway from that. What they destroyed, what government has destroyed is tribalism, and it has destroyed that organic. It's just what we do as there is no land. Nobody owns anything here. We don't own none of this. We do collectively, kinda. And that's the best way to do that is in your own little area. You make your tribal area, which isn't necessarily geographical, but it is because that's where you're at and how big your tribe becomes. You make your tribe so beautiful that it's replicated. That's how it becomes better. And that's following the Tao Te Ching, really, in my opinion, is a great format for starting small communities centered on the theme of Taoism. If I was going to really fix things, that's how you would do it. It is organic. It will, I don't have all the answers, and you never do. It's fluid. That's what the Tao is. And that's what makes it so adaptable. But it really does start with, that's what's so powerful though, is there's archetypes. I'm really good at certain things, obviously not gaining an audience, but I do have skills. I think it's pretty evident that I do have some abilities. And there are other people that have other types of abilities. And if you can collectively pull those together, woo, it's amazing what you can do. If you can take somebody that's really smart at numbers and coin them together with somebody that's looking from this angle, and then coin that together with somebody that's really good at setting things up, and all of that together in an organic situation that prospers, unbelievable is what you can do. It really is that easy. You just have to start putting things in the right places. When we die, we take nothing with us but our deeds. I like that. Your deeds have been recorded. Your deeds have been recorded. Today is a new day to start again. Take each moment. The most important word in that song is moment. That's what I think. What is a moment? It is not a segment of time. It is a segment of completion. Something happened in the moment. Take each one by one, and collectively all is one. I mean, you're trying to do your best moving forward is really what you're trying to do. What is the best? You be the best you can be. You're the only one that can be the best you. Best isn't first. It's not the strongest. Best is just the best in the moment. If you do your best doing great things, follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. Follow the yellow brick road. If you're lost, come find me, and I'll show you the way. Do great. Be great. Be grateful. If you're down, my mom said this to me once. She said, when you're down, when you fall down, you pick yourself back up, you dust yourself off, you smile, and you say, you know what? I'm going to try not to fall again.